Hey there, Party Pig. How you doing? I hope my mic's not cutting out too quickly. Had to do some tweaking with it since my other headset I was using was figure out. Hey, Valaya. Hey, Snowy. Thank you so much for the resub. Sorry I haven't really been streaming more. It's just, like recently it got busy and my energy's been lower. I mean, you've been seeing how my Overwatch stream isn't going, which has been pretty terrible. Sorry, music just had a weird skip. Thank you so much for the support, Snowy. And just shake this low energy thing I've been having. Yeah, it's really weird that you can't resub Party Pig. I don't understand that. Our streams at the same time. I'm sorry, Malaya. Well, I mean, my streams aren't all that rare. It's just I haven't been able to do a stream that works with you people. Really sorry for those that are on different time zones. I mean, like, I started out doing the morning stream and then the night stream, and then it just kind of became too much because, like, when I'd wake up in the mornings after night stream, I feel kind of crappy. So it's kind of, yeah. I'm trying to think of how I want to draw that. The late Patreon requests that I got like at the end of last term, so I'm doing it now. Oh crap, I wondering why I was lagging. Sure. Too many things open.
Almost have amp, amp's on cooldown. Amping, point. Almost on max. Jesus.
Anyway, I sort of put Nightbot into chat. I mean, there are commands for both bots. It's a Chibi. So, yeah, like, there's some stuff still on Stream Elements, but Nightbot, I moved most of them over to Nightbot, at least the ones that are just for fun. So, I wanted to use Nightbot basically to take advantage of the oh sorry, I hit the mic. Take advantage of the emotes that they can use.
I'm not.
did random stuff like this. I didn't overuse them though. It's like, they aren't mine. Alright. I'm sorry if like the mic's doing some weird shit cause like the controller on this headset is weird and it's got a button that I accidentally keep pressing. Oh, I didn't make a command for purple because she rarely gets to stop by anyway. What? I don't know what you're talking. Oh, because the bot is being weird. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that now live bot. It's so bad. the one and only party animal.
I'm on speed. You tried to fucking solo
What the
me.
fuck?
You still trying?
Okay.
Whatever, I
Neat.
need to be here. Dead. Getting left out of the crater. You tried to fucking solo me. You still trying?
these headphones. I don't know how my husband dealt with them. Like, I don't know how other people feel about laundry, but I tell my husband, like, I literally let him throw his clothes into a pile on the floor. And I ask him, please throw it here. It doesn't have to be in the hamper, but please at least throw it somewhere here so I can see it when it needs to get clean. I turn to my left and there's a pair of his trousers in the office space, like just on the floor, and I'm like, yes! Why were they not in the pile like they should have been? Along with a pair of socks. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, back. Sorry if button makes any loud noises. Five days? What the heck? Why so long? Didn't know how to fold his clothes.
Mercy's right side. She's chilling. Genji's behind us.
There was a time I was alone, nowhere to go and no place to call home. My only friend was the man in the moon, and even sometimes he would go away.
Oh, poor thing.
And one night as I closed my eyes, I saw a shadow flying high. He came to me with the sweetest smile, told me he wanted to talk for a while. He said, Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that I'll never be lonely. And ever since that day,
Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely. Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely. Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely.
Yeah, good. That's good on you. Teach your friend how to fold clothes.
I've had my heart in the right place at the wrong time with the right girl in another world. Maybe we would be together still and be here to and resent that. I don't give a shit, I'll let it spill. I don't give a damn, I'll keep it real. Cause by now I hope you know the drill. I would never lie, young forever, I ain't never gonna die. Told me grow up and I went and showed them why I could make it. I showed them the power and
Okay, I think I need to skip this song.
Dude! Oh my god, he's so annoying. He was on his back. Fuck!
That's alright, I'm just playing a random mix. Most of the picks are fine, it's just there'd be a random one that I need to skip over. I couldn't really think of anything, so I just based it on her laughing.
This is a vertical map. It's so much better for Genji than Tracer. I'll go Tracer and go under then. It's gonna take me a minute to get up there, Winston. Yeah, let me get set up though. Alright, I'm ready, I'm ready.
I got there, don't get pooped off and die.
Well? You feeling? Lucius back left.
500 plus songs. Why?
Focus on it.
That motherfucker's going in.
I think Bang's the tank player. Go under, dive up.
Oh.
Where is this dude?
Yeah. I got the drink.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. I just realized Science pressing Raxu. Oh, one of his subs has been, he used to be on console and he transferred over to PC and he's really good. Like, he's already GM, he's trying to get to 4400, but yeah. He's currently getting kind of pooped on right now by Raxu's team. Fortunate. No. Rex is like, I didn't get playing the game. Yeah, I already bought it. I just gotta wait for it to arrive. Yeah, I dropped a lot on my new audio setup. But in a way, it's kind of like I've never had a real set of headphones that like were made for good listening. I mean, I'm not an audiophile, but at the same time, most of the comfortable headphones are expensive. So I was like, you know what? I'll do it. I'll drop the money on it. Get something nice. Pray to dear God it lasts me a while. I mean, the thing with buying expensive stuff in my past experiences is I'm like one of those people who I don't have to actually break anything. I'll touch something and it'll just break and I haven't done anything. It's just like the random chance of something breaking exists around me.
Bro! It's yours, you wanna do it.
What the I shot the wall.
Hanzo, right side. I'm coming back.
Woo!
Frustrating to be honest. Yeah, I was looking at the Audio Technicas, but
What the?
most of the Audio Technica stuff is
Oh, you got a shield, bro.
at least the ones that come highly recommended are open back. And I don't want to have that simply because my husband mashes his keyboard. I won't be able to hear anything other than him mashing his keyboard because there was one night I wasn't streaming, I had my headphones off, and he was raiding or he was doing Mythic 5 meds and I was like, holy crap, that is loud. And I was like thinking to myself, is that what my viewers are listening to when my mic opens and he's mashing away on the keyboard? So I was like, damn. Also, I won't really be streaming while he's raiding, and at least you guys that are watching when I'm streaming shouldn't have to worry about there being loud mechanical keys being crushed in the background, you know? I don't remember. I looked at a ton of different Audio Technica. I was actually looking at one of them specifically because it art for the closed back ones that had the fin headband or whatever. But those are only available in via Japan import because they don't make them anymore. They only make the open back version now, which is a little like trying to get it, but thing is, like I said, the open back. It allows sound to get through, but the thing is, you hear everything. And like I said, holy crap, keyboard mashing is really, really loud. And I don't want to be hearing that when I'm actually trying to listen to, like, for gaming and stuff, right? So I need the close backs. Okay, well, just working on a patron request that I got late. I have a few patrons that forget that they're giving me money, and I need to remind them. It's like, hey, you got a drawing that I gotta do for you. You wanna, do you want your drawing or not? So, this is a later one.
Wait, is he an artist? Hello? What if he said like type it to 10 if you're gonna call us? Was it just like fuck that?
Yeah, he beat it a couple days ago. Party pig. Yeah, Moon has become the Bashi.
He's back.
Just watching him play, just to fight the Soylent Green boss, I was like, oh my god, I would have quit, like, before I ever started. Well, he wasn't gonna let the game defeat him, right? So, stuck to his guns and got it done. Trigger you watching him die? Yeah. Yeah, I totally get that. Like, I started kind of zoning it out after a while because I was like not watching watching it strictly. I was like watching it in between, like, tabbing between Rax's stream and doing other stuff. God. Bashi time. Tag me if Bashi time. Well, that's that person's fault. It's like the tag me if Raxi pops off, and you see that in like Iron Stream all the time.
Hey. Let's go, team, go.
I just watched you play Mercy.
Oh, you're right. Oh, it's Frog.
Fucking Mercy was flying.
Well, high power always does that high thing. Tracer.
Delayed mana, Fog Champ.
The account name isn't a meme, but he is a meme.
You beat dead. Yeah, dude. Oh god, no. I'm sad now. I just want to play Anna. Like, that's all I want to do today. I'm just trying to chill and play my main.
I wonder what he would do if we never got rid of that emo. Feel like he'd have to like never speak again.
Oh yeah, the highlight, sure. They'd even captured the right one. This would be something completely different.
What would be dope, Party Pig?
Yeah, I didn't even look at that. Promise.
Crash to the mountain top. You the fire inside. Light in the night sky. Go higher and higher.
Goodness.
You leave it all behind. You leave it all behind.
Well, I mean, a couple of them are decent, I think. I think Matt Mercer plays at like a diamond level, but I don't think McCree is his main. I think he does main DPS though. I heard Charlotte Chung was like a hog main back in the day. But I think overall with the, at least most of the people who are like the VAs or actual gamers in the Blizzard staff, they're like more plat diamond level. I don't think there are too many that are actually super high rank. I do find it pretty funny though. The actor for Superman, Henry Cavill, Bill, I say his name, almost missed getting the role of Superman because he was raiding in WoW. I haven't done my placements, you know, but I'm glad that they're pushing the patch back a little bit for the Mercy changes. I don't mind the changes, but I don't feel comfortable just throwing myself into competitive before I've gotten comfortable with changes. So I wanna place first and then get used to the changes.
I'm back and I am sad because it's this map.
Dude.
Stuck at silver rank up. Can't. Thanks for the time sub though. Appreciate it.
Because worst case scenario, I'm gonna have to look up a different support, and I am absolute garbage on everything that is not Mercy. Hondo. But yeah, my Duoki partner, I don't even know if he can play, because I don't even know if he can play because there's another hurricane heading toward Florida. So he just got power and water back, but he might not have it for very long. So I mean, worst case, I have another person willing to duo queue with me for my placements after he levels
Hey man, level
25. I still have to talk to duo queue
You singled out shit. How did you
lines or what? Actually, I don't even know if the account he was going to use is still not placed, because the account he was going to use was his brother's, and his brother plays sometimes, and he's not bad. He actually got a master level. Yep. I could be very much screwed out of being able to place with all. Yeah, Roche is a good support. Thing is, like, you can't do queues really with support characters. Support main doesn't normally work out very well. I mean, I know Roche is good at other stuff too, but it's just easier to make sure that one person specializes in another thing separate from the other duo partner. Yeah, I wish I could. Okay, my Dookie partner actually plays Hanzo as his main. So when he can actually play Hanzo, I love pocketing him. But yeah, half of the time he can't because the rest of the team won't fill on tank, and he's actually a good flex tank. So kind of working against us. The rest of the DPS aren't pulling their weight. Hey Anubis. I don't teach you my ways of what? My drawing? Aggressive isn't a problem. The only thing is that you need your team to back you up. And if your team doesn't, then you just die. No, I understand. I have friends who play Rhine and they press shift. And you're just like, why did you do that? Why did you do the one thing that you probably shouldn't have done? But it works out. One of my friends who I duoed with a few times, season 4, Ryan main, and he's really good. But it kind of made it hard for me to follow him when he would charge in, and I'm like, no!
This is like the fourth time in a row. And
Are you kidding? Jeff forced everybody up here. I'm here.
That's such a nice guy. I was cool when we went with him.
Yeah, if you play enough, you're top 1%. Really top 20%, you know?
They're doing the pro strat? No. Cool.
It's just a
pick a sword.
Okay. I'll sign to this.
Which side are you going?
Left side.
Pick a sword.
Give him a shoulder recharge.
Anything. Roadhog's, you on left side? She's alone? She's alone? Almost out of mech. But shit. Don't maybe need it. No, she gets no. Oh.
No, don't do it. Eat it, bitch. The fun man never ends.
Pocket him! Oh shit.
I'm trying to save you. Genji was really well.
Anubis, I need to ask you a couple questions first before I can give you tips. How advanced are you already with drawing?
Oh, why did I use it? I'm sorry.
Okay, well, first of all, I'd have to say that you need to, start small first. How... Okay, before you even get into digital, you need to make sure you're at least on a particular level on paper. Because without some basis of like building off of, when you move to digital, digital, you're gonna just hate yourself because um, it's gonna take a while to get used to drawing digitally to begin with, and you need to have a foundation already on paper before you dive into digital, because the way it works, you might end up discouraging yourself. Hair. Okay, so when you look at hair, what other form do you see it as? Hair is not just complete strands. From far away, it looks like kind of like cloth, right? The way it moves, it's free hanging. It doesn't just go all out in all directions in separate strands, right? It kind of moves together like a piece of cloth would.
You're getting recorded after this game. Oh, I'm There you go.
You have to imagine that
Watch the trap. Watch the trap.
generally for hair. Like, hair can be depicted basically like in layers of cloth. And after you've got your pieces of hair all together, like in the way you want it to, then you can start throwing like detail lines to make it look should actually be hair, not just stuff. When you're drawing hair, is it kind of just looking like you basically just took a piece of like shaped foam and threw it on someone's head? Is that what you're trying to get at, that you have a problem with?
This was a huge fail, run.
Fourth blow. Oh shit.
It looks stiff. Is that the problem?
Going in for you, run. The mercy's low.
My nose is so itchy, Jesus.
It's gonna take some time to get used to actually figure out how you want to depict hair, because different styles will make hair look different no matter what you do. Alright, Party Pig. Take care. Have a good sleep.
Alright, let's get done.
Let's just talk about. I went for style points and it didn't work out. That's fucking zen.
Leave me alone. You're ugly.
Anyway, yeah, so
You're so like deep, dude. I don't know.
you have to remember that hair has weight to it. You have to. It's. Your shape of
Both of 1, 2 months going back.
You have to remember though, like, does it look like the hair just falls straight or it's not? I don't know. me get through a bit more and yeah, if you can put in like art feedback.
Focus on me. And Lucio.
Oh shit! The one ship.
Corvus solo. Oh. Getting a good shot.
Okay, well, the shape of what you have is not bad, but you're forgetting that you need to draw where the roots are actually growing out of. Like, you have to make it seem believable that the hair is actually growing out of the head. Like, little touches like what I've done here, the hairline. Hair does not grow. Imagine that's the surface of the skin. Hair doesn't grow like this. It does not really anyway. From the follicle, it grows out of the skin like this. So you have to remember that although the hair might immediately like just go like this. Hair might do that, yes, but you have to remember hair still grows out of the skin on a microscopic level. And you need to consider that from your hairline, you have to give it a little bit of volume coming up from the hairline, and then the hair will fall over the shape of the head. Yep, through. Let me finish this and then I can help you out later after. I mean, to be perfectly honest, what you've drawn is decent. Looks cute. Really doesn't look that bad in terms of like the hair not looking like hair. And for the style that you're drawing it with, that Widowmaker in, I wouldn't really go with any different. Like a mismatch of styles and might actually hurt it more than help if you try to change hair.
Wow. Don't Matrix it, thank you. There, yeah, those two. off the stream mode.
So I've been
mine.
thinking about something. Lately I've been alive. Cause I found my reason in nothing. So I'll close my eyes. Cause I don't wanna miss 1 second. And I don't wanna feel so cold. And I don't wanna be so sad that we are who we are. Cause we had no control. But only by the night. Will we ever make headlines? Will we ever make things right? When we've only ourselves to blame. When we've only ourselves to blame. So I won't sleep no more. No, I won't sleep no more. I won't sleep. I always thought that there'd be more than just wishing my life away. Like I could always figure it out and never have to bound it what's in front of me. Dream no more.
Favorite flavor.
So get this doubt out of my head. It's only real if you let it. And I've been letting go of my ghost. I'll never let them catch me no more. These words are all I have, so I'll just keep dreaming out loud. And if I just keep talking, maybe I'll figure all of this out. But only by the night.
Sucks I'm playing like shit.
Will we ever make headlines? Will we ever make things right? When we've only ourselves to blame. And we've only ourselves to blame. So I won't sleep no more. No, I won't sleep no more. No, I won't sleep. I always thought that there'd be more than just wishing my life away. Like I could always figure it out and never have to abandon what's in front of me. Dream no more.
Can't see.
Empty cups, ashtrays flooded. The talker habits, the hearts we spare. With the blue moon, I saw through you. Cold eyes in a distant stare. Don't you ask me what my tattoos mean. 'Cause they ain't for you, and they ain't for me.
Heal me, please.
I
I have
ain't
one
giving
HP.
over anyone now.
Maybe he was one.
You can't pick me up if I don't ever fall. Hey stranger, wanna know me truly? Step closer, it's a broken spell.
Thanks, Silent, for the host. Hey.
Step closer, it's a broken spell. Keep me up, make me feel something. Maybe then I can show and tell.
Hey, thank you for the host. I'm just drawing a Chibi Mercy. Like, I hope your stream went well. Are you done for the day playing competitive?
Oh. I'm stupid. We went out.
I'm the secret you just can't keep. Don't you
I just taking a quick break.
You can't pick me
Cool, cool.
if I don't ever fall. Hey stranger, wanna know me truly? Step closer, it's a broken spell. Keep me
I noticed so you had like 4 games in a row with Raxu, huh? At least a couple of them you're on the same team, right? So that's a good thing. You weren't getting burst on him too many times. And I saw the win. Full held him on Eichenwald, right?
What are you doing?
Couldn't really hear anything though, cause like all my audio has to get like turned way down. So
Where is this guy?
like I end up just watching silent streams all the time. Hey, Hugh Jackman.
Hi,
Thank
Mom.
you for the sub. The resub. Okay, 2 months in a row. Thank you. No, of course, he knows that you're not streaming. It's kind of been like this for the past couple days though. If you leave a game and then you just re-queue right away, you end up getting in the same game. Like that happened to you where you kept getting the same 12 people like 3 or 4 games in a row. Nah, come on. Of course it's not stream sniping. I wouldn't do that. I don't understand those people who purposely try to stream snipe. It's like, why? There's no reason for it. Like, hey, look, mom, I'm playing with a streamer. It's like, no, okay. If he suspected that you were actually sniping, like, he probably would have said something by now. Like, and even still, I don't think he would mind because you're a good player, Silent.
What do I think? Oh, baby view. You're so obnoxious.
He does know it's him.
Let me frag.
He said it the other day on stream. I think out of all my subs, the best Ana is Silent.
He has it again, dude.
Like, the main thing, Sign, is that you play the game when you play with him. You don't try to troll, you don't try to get his attention. You just play the game, and he appreciates that. So yeah. Also, you don't play like instant against him, you know, because then he would end up probably giving you the gift a lot.
Killed each other. Probably more worth it for him.
Walk alone through the nightlife. All the lonely souls try to keep control. Through the glow of a white light, I can feel you close, coursing through my bones. Breathe you in slowly. I want you all right now. I need you to know me. I need you to know somehow.
Why not? It'd be perfect. Zach would be the tank main, you would be the support main or DPS flex. It's perfect. Grandma and Grandpa, Ryan and Anna, you know? Oh wow. Silent, are you gonna take that from Zach? Hey TT. Yeah, Zach, you're such a jerk. What is this? No bullying in my stream. That's no way to get someone to duo queue with you when you hit GM, Zach. What turn? You the PUBG one? I only saw the one where you were doing squads with Womack and Carly. And Silent, like, 4-man. Is that the one you're talking about? If it was recent, like in the last couple weeks, I don't think I got to see it. Yeah, I think I saw that one then. Didn't you win the first game? And then kind of got owned in all the rest of them? Oh, so you mean recently? Yeah, I didn't get to see recent ones. I'm sorry, Zach. Wow, Simon, that's toxic. Ow, that sneeze really hurt. I couldn't mute my mic fast enough. I heard about it. I don't think I saw the kitten yet, though. Or maybe I did. It's a dark colored kitten, right? Alright. The photos channel, please. That's cute. Very cute. Like a ragdoll kitten? I wish I was better with identifying the breeds, because when there are kittens, they all kind of look the same. It's just the coats are different. Do you know what breed it is? Aww. So you rescued the kitty? That's nice of you. Just make sure you fix him. Can't have too many kitties, you know. Hey, good.
Oh, we gotta dial. Okay. Whoops.
Responsible cat owner. I like it.
How do you do your crosshair in the settings, my man?
So playing. Everyone's gotta grow up a little bit, you know.
Watch, dude, all you need to do is copy the crosshair. Hey, Jim, what's your crosshair settings? So I can be a pro Widowmaker?
Zach's growing up. Being responsible, owning pets,
11
getting them fixed. Yeah. I can bake better than I cook. My husband kind of makes fun of me not really being able to cook well because he cooks way better than I do. So, yeah. Rip.
It's that easy, dude. You just copy the crosshair of a pro and then damn. Why the fuck did that guy leave? What about the gap?
Oh, silent. I have to comment though, like with all the quick play that I've done recently, I think you're the only person that I've never had to actually ask come back to spawn so I could get back to the team faster. I always have to ask otherwise. Sky does it sometimes, but like you're the only one that actually does it like without me having to ask for it. Kind of feels bad. It's like your Mercy can't walk fast unless you come taxi her. So polite, silent. Actually, yeah, Zach taxis me without me having to ask him. But I don't play that much with you anymore. Whatever happened to the days where we would actually duo queue?
Running triple tank all of a sudden. What is this shit?
Yeah, that one game that I showed you the link to, where it was 4 DPS, 1 tank, 1 healer on attack. And then the DPS were like, can I get healing? I'm like, I'm in spawn. I know, Zach, you were busy with other stuff. I'm just giving you, teasing. Higher res, always Anubis. Well, I mean, my awareness is absolute garbage, so I really shouldn't, like, nag about it. Well, I don't, but it's nice that there are people that I don't have to ask to come back and taxi your healer back to the team. Oh, I don't know. Whatever you're comfortable drawing at, that you know when you shrink it down it'll look right, correct, good, whatever you want to say. Mercy is much too reliant on everybody else to get around. But then if her team is positioned in a really good way, spread out enough to have exits to escape to, That is some pretty hot shit right there. Yeah, Zen's relying on his team when he basically right clicks everybody to death. No, I know what you mean. Zen has no mobility, so he needs people to actually peel for him. He dies. Or Zen. But at the same time, Zen could be like the most deadly assassin where he has no footsteps, right? So he just kind of can go on secret missions to assassinate people. What if what if you're on a team with Raxu? Hey Dash. Dang it. I don't really know how. My goodness, Dash. Why did you not sleep? Hey, the Mercy Pocket. Yeah. Hey, girlfriend. I was wondering why you were up until like you had something in Discord posted at 2:30 in the morning. I'm like, what are you doing? You told me you were gonna go to bed. You just happened to acquire one at 1 in the morning, okay? It's so random, Dash, but hey, grats. Happy for you.
That's what the countdown timer is for. What is it, like 2 minutes after someone leaves, if they don't join, you can leave the game. Don't get banned.
What? Just like that. Easy. That's cute. Seems a little random, but cute nonetheless. Hey, it's funny how things work out, huh? Righty. Get you done. Maybe. Totally possible. Friends, oh jeez. Never had a mom friend? No, I've had mom friends, for sure. As far as it went amongst like my group of friends, I was always the baddie. Like everyone was trying to take care of me. Okay, I'm done. Okay, so Anubis, I'm gonna do this really quick before I have to actually get off and figure out dinner. So with hair, I mean the style you have is pretty simple, and what you're doing for hair already, it actually is bad. But what I can tell, at least from based on like the avatar you did, and then you wanted to make a Widowmaker version of it, the main thing I think you need to work on is actually breaking up the hair into pieces. You're doing everything as one massive shape. Let's take so you have face. Turn it. Doing this kind of chibi style just to keep it simple. So crazy with hair, right? Anyway. Widowmaker is usually not smiling. If she's smiling, it's bad. She did something bad, right? So just leave it a neutral Widowmaker here, right? Alright, so I want to establish that we want to establish that she's got a particular hairline, right? So normally
Dude, that was a fucking.
hairline, at least for widow, wait, we got a widow's peak here. Part that comes ends about
You went nowhere. Like, what the hell?
then whatever sideburn she probably doesn't have much of.
Look at me.
So the generally you need to remember everyone has a hairline that you need to follow. I noticed that they kind of just do this like upside down W thing for the most part, but the hair always has a little bit that comes forward around where the eyebrow level is. That way it's not like a perfect like half circle sort of deal. Some people are close to that, but almost always there's a little bit that comes forward right around where the eyebrow is, and then it goes back and then it goes down into what would be sideburn. Might not have sideburns, they might, but just because Widowmaker actually does have a little bit, I'm putting it in. Otherwise it would just go straight back like this. Actually, we'll just do that. Most generic hairline with a widow's peak. Not everyone has a widow's peak, but let's just say Widowmaker. Anyway, so from here, you need to establish that the hair is not going to just grow straight out to whatever your usual hair doesn't have a hairline, so that's kind of ignored. So yeah, let's go with the ponytail. Hair is not going to be like that tight around her head. It looks pretty thick, so we draw like a little bit of hair coming out of her head. I mean, like, even though like the general form of her hair is pretty simple, you can still make it not look flat by just defining the lines that you draw in the hair itself. Like you have some already in the drawing. You already have some of those lines in the hair that you've drawn, but they don't have any sort of real purpose. Like, let's do it how you have it in your drawing. Point. Try to say. Anyway, so you have the same hairline that I erased. I didn't mean to erase. Oops. We have the same hairline, same shape of the head. Let's say her hair is parted here. Anyway, yeah, like whenever you do hair, don't make the hair look like it's flush with the face like that. Always try to make it look like it's coming out of the head, so that it's actually not flush with the head. So we have our side part. We'll make bangs. I think though you can do that, or you can do something like what you already have there, but you need to make a point to show that the hair is actually coming from the part. Like you're what you have is decent, but you need to emphasize the fact that there's actually other strands of hair. I mean, you just need to draw a few more darker lines, like just adding in a couple of dark lines will give it more like an actual feel of the fact that it's hair, but you don't want them parallel to each other. Not perfectly parallel, you know? As I say that, I made one parallel. Nice, okay. Okay, so this is what I'm doing based on what you have on your drawing. However, what you have the ponytail. However, you have the ponytail. God, stop doing that. Put the ponytail on like where it normally is, right? That automatically means that these two lines here don't make any sense. Actually, you have to consider that everything is going to the ponytail. From here. Yeah, like you have to make sure that the hair makes sense. I guess if she had just like pieces of bangs hanging out the side and then you added the ponytail to back like that and then did this, that would actually make sense too. I mean, you get the idea. Hair has to. You have to draw the hair so that it makes sense. I don't know. I'm like, I think I'm like completely like talking in circles now. The standard for her hair, I think. Like this is what her hair would generally look like, based on how it looks in the game. But, I mean, you're free to change your hairstyle like what you did here. There's no fixed hairstyle. Do whatever the hell you want. But yeah, okay. Parallel, okay, what I meant to say earlier about parallel lines. Parallel lines, okay, but you need to change the distance between the lines as they come to and from their root. How would I color it in? I'm not really sure what you mean. Generally, I just go flat color, and then make sure I shade a little bit along the darker lines and make sure my highlights actually follow me. I'm not really good at breaking down what I do in the steps. Like, the best I can do is show you, but I don't have the time to do that, and that's not what I'm doing for the stream. The stream or patron sketch. At least for this one. Also, like I said, I'm not good at explaining what I do in steps. So actually trying to teach on stream is probably the worst thing I could possibly do for you.
Going in unscathed, but I have my doubts. I can misbehave or will turn around. What does it all mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry, like, as it stands, if I had more time, maybe I would do a small example, but I don't. I have to get off the I have to get off stream soonish, so I don't disrupt my husband's raid. Spikes a lot more when I'm streaming. I mean, like, I hope what I have showed you helps you out a little bit. I'm not going just yet. I hope what I showed you helps you out a little bit, Anubis. It's not really easy to show you how to actually. It's not really easy to just tell you how to draw hair or tell you how to draw anything. A lot of this is really just trial and error, looking at how other people actually draw certain things. I mean, a lot of what I do is from reference, at least when I'm having trouble with stuff. So, best thing that you can do is when you are struggling with something, you look at a reference, even a realistic one. It'll help you figure out, like, you study the lines of what you're looking at, and it'll help you figure out, like, oh, okay, well, hair grows out of skin, almost perpendicular line, but it can lie flat fairly easily. Yeah. Also, studying a little human physiology helps a lot too. It's like, if you want to learn how to draw, if you want to learn how to accurately draw art, you have to know biology. Yeah. To an extent, you know, like, you need to know muscle anatomy, and or depending on how crazy your structural realism is. Anyway, yeah, I hope what I showed you helps you. I know that wasn't clear, descriptive. But yeah, Anubis, if you ever have any problem with something, you are completely allowed to go and look at a reference, try to uh, figure out how it is that the reference is making something look a particular way. Even referencing other drawings, reference certain cartoon styles. Just look at how they draw the hair. Look at how they draw whatever it is that you question about. How they make it not look. Well, Lucio's hair is a little bit more different, but you have to consider that his hair is in dreadlocks. So you have to draw in each piece as a shape. Basically, hair is like in dreadlocks, like this. Like zigzags. I forget which direction they are. That's how they generally look. But like I said, you need to make the lines make sense because his hair is pulled into a ponytail, right? Dreadlocks coming out like that.
Take a glass. Don't be scared. I'm right here. Even though you don't know.
Like, you just need to block in the shapes. Like, what you've done already is already the basics of what you need to figure out on how to do it better. You just need to understand that the extra lines that you put into the hair that you have in the drawing in Discord don't make sense. They're there. It's you understand that it is hair, but your lines need to have a purpose. Make sure that you say the fact that hair. I can't really. Wait, what is that?
It's okay. Boy, I feel it too.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know the words I'm using aren't helping. Hey, Crash, I'm actually about to end stream in doing like a quick breakdown. But yeah, like block in the shapes, and then you need to think about what you do to give them depth. Okay. Yeah, like you need to make sure that your lines are actually following the way the hair needs to go. Like, even though his hair is in zigzags here with his dreads, they all converge at this ponytail here.
No.
So, say if his hair was down, generally it will look the same, except it falls. This point here, so hair will, dreads will just fall here. Dead. Good, but that's what it would.
Oh god. Whoops. Whoops.
And then we can get into the whole breakdown. What would it look like if his hair was actually completely down? But yeah, I'm not. It is hard, but once you learn how to block it in, once you learn how to block in hair properly, and then afterwards figure out how to get it to actually look like it has form, it'll be a lot easier. And like, you don't have to draw every strand, you don't have to you don't have to go too crazy on the detail, but at the same time you can't just leave it as a shape. Dash. Well, if you take someone's hair, take someone's hair,
Damn, I didn't.
literally just a sheet of hair on this person's head, right? Nothing special to it.
The payload. Don't leave us.
What you need to consider is that towards the middle, this area here, you don't need to draw that much. You don't need to really draw lines. Especially if the hair is straight. So oh yeah, sorry, I put Nightbot in. Nightbot is strictly no links. Oops. Anyway, yeah, like the lines tend to be more clustered around the edges of the general shape, right? Okay. Shoulder and
Can I keep you alive, Mercy? I'm trying to heal you. I'm trying, Mercy. I'm trying.
I'm just like whipping some of the shots. Peek me.
I mean, best simple approach I can show you would be just doing straight hair, nothing special. But yeah, like what I started with wasn't anything more than just a shape. Like, all I did was I drew
No, boys, like
the general shape of the hair. Nothing more to it. That, right? And then I just ended up throwing a couple more strands on top of it to break it up. You don't need to have any complicated hair. It's not random strokes though. Like you need them to. You need hair to show that it comes together or goes apart. Like shape, basically, right? Then there will be little. But I have tons of layers too. Don't worry about layers, Anubis. Then all you need to do is you throw in a couple of lines, nothing too complicated. Accentuate the fact that this hair is parting, so maybe throw in a line there. Throw in another line up here. Goes away. Some lines here. Like they follow each other, but they're not rigid. Just make it seem like, at least from the top of the head, make it look like the hair is actually coming from a root. Like have the line curve a little at the top so that it's actually conforming to the shape of the head. That way it actually looks growing from the skull rather than just lying on top of the hair. Head, rather. And then when it falls, you can have it fall in whatever direction, but some of the hair has to go with it, some can go away, but not necessarily all of it. I mean, I would recommend trying to use fewer layers, but at the same time I use one too. I should talk. Anyway, yeah, I need to start worrying about dinner. So, I hope that helped you out a little. Not really wasting time. I want to be able to help, I don't have the time. I need to. Yeah, layers are really only limited by like your computer. I mean, like look at this. All this I put on separately for a reason, but say tutorial. Yeah, like even this I broke it up on a. Alright, okay, so I've said goodbye like 10,000 times, I'm gonna say it again. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for the resubs, Zach, Snowy. Thank you guys for watching, talking, hanging out. Go get food. So, anyway, take care, guys. I will see you next time, tomorrow afternoon. So, alright. See you guys later. Bye bye.